5.
Listen, my dear Cecilia. I've stood for your nonsense long enough. Don't you think I've noticed you and Robert? Don't you think I've seen how you two act when you're together? Well, I have noticed, and I have seen. And I think it's about time for a change. A drastic change. Why, hello? What are you doing up at this hour? I thought I was the only one in this house who... That gun. What are you going to do with that gun? Put that gun down. No, don't shoot! Don't! The scorpion. The scorpion.
And that's how my brother died, Inspector.
I see.
I thought when I found this record on his dictaphone that it might contain some clue as to his murder, but it doesn't tell us a thing.
Don't be so sure, Mr. Spencer.
Hmm? What do you mean?
Well, your brother mentioned the word scorpion. That might mean something.
But what, Inspector?
I don't know yet, but it may lead to the murderer.
I hope so.
By the way, Mr. Spencer, what was your brother dictating when he was killed?
The second act of his new play.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess I've seen enough in here.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to meet the others?
Yes, I would.
They're in the library. This way, Inspector. Oh, boys, I want you to meet the Inspector. Inspector, this is Roger DeHaven.
How do you do? Inspector?
And this is Professor Marco.
How do you do, Inspector?
Professor?
Well, I'm not a real professor. It's just my professional name. You see, I'm an astrologer. I tell fortunes by the stars.
Oh, yes. Well, I'd like to ask you two some questions.
Certainly.
Certainly, Inspector. Well, the first question I'd like to ask is, why are you all here?
Well, you see, Inspector, Professor Marco, Roger DeHaven, my brother, and I are all members of the same club.
And it so happens that all of us have birthdays in the same week, so each year we all come up here and celebrate.
I see. Well, that answers my first question. Now for the second. Does the word scorpion mean anything to any of you?
Scorpion? No, it doesn't mean anything to me.
Why do you ask, Inspector?
Well, you see, before Spencer died, he was dictating a scene for his new play over the dictaphone. He was interrupted when someone came in and shot him. With his dying breath, he repeated the word scorpion several times.
Inspector, isn't the scorpion a sign of death?
Yes, but I don't think he meant that. No, I think he was trying to give us a clue as to the identity of his murderer. Of course, why didn't I think of it before?
What do you mean, Inspector?
I know what your brother was trying to say when he referred to the scorpion.
You do?
Yes, and I'm arresting you, Professor Marco, for the murder of Howard Spencer. Well, Professor Marco has confessed to his crime. But if it weren't for the verbal clue which Howard Spencer left us, this crime might have gone unsolved. Spencer's reference to a scorpion puzzled me for a while because I was thinking of a poisonous bug. But then I realized that a scorpion is also a sign of the zodiac. And that didn't mean anything either, since it refers to people born in November, and all the people concerned in this case had their birthdays this week. Then I concluded that Spencer was referring to the zodiac as a whole. And was there anyone in this case who could be associated with the zodiac? Yes, Professor Marco, the astrologer, who tells fortunes by the stars.